Game sound, mic sound. कमीना कंट्रोलर भेज रहा कि नहीं भेज रहा साला मेरा ये है सिर्फ चूतिया काट रहा है मेरा। क्या बोलते हैं अनएक्सपेक्टेडली। तो बन तो ऐसा होता है पूछो मत, बाकी तो चलते रहता है लेकिन ये वाला बन बहुत जरा होता है। अच्छा साला एक ही बार में 3 मैसेजेस आ गए। पट 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 ना उसका नहीं है, मेरे को लगा उसने मैसेज किया। अरे वो करने वाला है कमीना, मेरे को पोर्टर पोर्टर करके भेजेगा बोलता है। 600 प्राइमर्स मिल गए हैं बार का। हेलो रोहन, किया पुल गेंशिन में। हेलो भाई, वेलकम वेलकम, कैसा है? पुल वगैरह कुछ किया, ट्राई किया ना? एक बहुत डिफरेंट है एक पहले। तुम बताओ पुल किया? मैंने कहा किया भाई। पुल करोगे तो पुल करोगे क्या पुल करूं? पुल करोगे तो भी क्या बोलना चाहता है भाई?
Time for takeoff. Everybody stand.
A turning point in fate.
Think you can get away?
तूने किया किरण भाई, तू तो करा होगा, तू तो रात को करेगा।
On me. Gajabbejjati. Burn. Element.
अब तो वेलकम बाइंग साइड पे भी कोई ने बैन लगाया है।
Time for takeoff.
क्यों?
Brace yourself.
प्राइमर्स नहीं है। 16K प्राइमर्स में मैं गेंशिन डाउनलोड कर रहा हूँ। गेंशिन डाउनलोड कर रहा हूँ। अरे तू तो भूल गया। हाँ मैं तो भूल गया था, तूने डिलीट किया, कल ही डिलीट किया तूने। आ रहा है वापस। एटलीस्ट 40K चाहिए, बहुत ज्यादा नहीं हो गया किरण भाई? 16 में भी कैरेक्टर आ जाता है।
takeoff.
A turning point in fate!
But
On me! Burn!
बेकारी नहीं बना
Thunder!
वो है बेकारी नहीं जीरो प्राइमल का अच्छा
Thunder!
बात सही है करने बात सही
Devouring claw! The abyss!
Teamwork is dreamwork. Think you can get away?
Maria sweeping in! Burn! Up the ante!
भाई नेक्स्ट क्या पुल करूं
For the
तू अभी पुल कर रहा है वारका को तू नेक्स्ट की बात कर रहा है
Time for takeoff.
एस्कोफियर और स्कर्क आ रही है अगर तेरे पास दोनों में से कोई एक है तो जा सकता है तुम के लिए एस्को नहीं है तो एस्को के लिए जा सकता है मैं तो बोलता हूँ एस्कोफियर के लिए जाना चाहिए नेक्स्ट जो नेशन आ रहा है उसके हिसाब से क्रायो डीपीएस के लिए एकदम गजब है जो भी है
the ante!
मतलब एस्कोफियर
The abyss is burning shadow! What?
Teamwork is dreamwork. Think you can get away?
Burn!
इसके साथ खेलने में मजा क्यों आ रहा है मेरे को पता नहीं यार ये बंदा पहले ही बहुत कूल दिखता है यार ये चाहिए ऐसा लग रहा है
Time for takeoff.
लेकिन मेरे पास ये जो टीम है ये इसकी एक भी कैरेक्टर नहीं है बस बैलेंस को छोड़ के
Up the ante! Maria sweeping in! Up the ante! The story has only just begun!
T1 फ्लेंस करूं रहने ना यार T1 मत जाओ मैं तो कोई T1 जाना नहीं है मतलब अगर फ्लेंस के लिए तो मत जा ये वार का यहाँ पे
Any updates on the commission from last time?
Apologies, Mr. Varka. The wine merchants from Mondstadt say they'll need also. They have asked me to pass this message on to you. Have you seriously finished the last batch?
Well, it's not like I'm the only one drinking. That amount of wine is barely enough for 2 banquets. We'll need more. Come on. I timed this down to the second.
Wine.
The Dawn Winery should be reopening the cellar of Dandelion wine right around now. As the Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius Mondstadt, patronizing their business is one of my duties.
तेरी कमेंट तो पिन करने लायक है
Don't worry,
दूसरों को बता
I've
के
left some for them. The trouble with long... Now, who to drink with? Kaya would... Oh.
Accelerating.
भाई फ्लिंट स्टीवन करना चाहिए ना मत कर सिर्फ एनर्जी रिकवरी करता है और कूल डाउन 4 से 4 है मध्यम मध्यम वंडरलैंड उसका 4 सेकंड से उसका वो डाउन हो रहा है बोलना लेकिन कौन सा वाला डाउन है इवन में वो 2 बॉस मारता है अरे मत जा मैं बोलता भाई सीवन मत जा सुपर सीक्रेट फ्रूट है अगर गाचा गेम्स खेलोगे तो गैम्बलर ही बनाओगे गैम्बलर ही बनोगे मतलब क्या, मतलब असली वाला गैम्बल बोल रहा है तू? वो जुआरी लोग जो खेलते हैं वाला गैम्बल की बात कर रहा है किरण भाई? मतलब वैसे टाइप में बोलना चाहता है तू? ये गलत है, ऐसा नहीं बोलते हैं। हाँ ये डोमेन चाहिए थी मेरे को। बार का मार निकलना, निकालना पछताओगे, मत निकालना पछताओगे बोलना चाहता है कि मार निकाल? क्या बोलना चाहता है भाई? है ना अर्जुना? बार का पुल किया ब्रो, मत निकालना। अरे नहीं अभी कहा, अबे प्राइमोस ही नहीं है पुल करने के लिए, साला कहाँ से निकाले यार? तू प्राइमोस देख, काम कर मेरे को। गेंशिन ने थर्ड पार्टी वेबसाइट बैन कर दिया बोलता है। कब वैसे तेरे को कब पता चली? किस भी चीज में पैसा या टाइम वेस्ट हो रहा है फिर कि उसमें अटके पड़े हो तो वो गैम्बलिंग। बात कर दो।
Animal test 63.
Observe to dust. Be silent.
पैसा भी नहीं है ज्यादा। एक बार में 3 बर्स मार सकता हूँ सीवन में। देख यार, तेरी इच्छा लग रही है तो जा सकता है भाई, जब तेरे को चाहिए तो फिर मैं कौन होता रोकने वाला? मैं तो नए कैरेक्टर्स प्रेफर करता हूँ, लेकिन मेरे को एक कैरेक्टर को छोड़ के एक कैरेक्टर। हेलो योकस, इसका नाम क्या है कमीने का? असली नाम @ कुछ और ही दिख रहा है। ओटाकू। किसकी बात में, किसी की बात में आके पुल डिसाइड मत करो।
Absorption test.
तो फिर किरण भाई पुल कर रहा है कब?
The night comes.
बता दे हमको भी, मेरे को पता है तू पुल करने वाला है, लेकिन कब करने वाला है मेरे को वो बता। मेरा फिक्स नहीं है। ऐसा क्यों कर रहा है? माइटो ने माइटो आया क्या? माइटो का है? मेरे को एक बार देखना पड़ेगा। माइटो भाई महान इंसान है, गेम खेल रहा है वो। कभी ना इससे तो बोला सीट 3 किया मैंने, इसे एक्टिवेट नहीं किया, वो अलग बात होगी। चलो मैंने सपना देखा कि इससे सच में बोला मैंने C3 किया, मेरे को याद नहीं आया। तीन में से एक अकाउंट में भी निकाला तो काफी है।
Thank you for
मेन आईडी पे लास्ट तक वेट करो।
Add Astra.
अगर आप 15 बैक स्टेप मारोगे तो पक्का 10 फुल कैरेक्टर मार्क बात। मैं 15 बैक फ्लिप नहीं भी मारूंगा ना तभी भी निकल जाएगा नहीं। क्या चल रहा है आप?
Lua, can't you just, you know, sneak up behind those monsters with me and
ऐसा क्या आ रहा है नीचे में?
I can act 3 times in a round, and there are only 4 monsters in total.
I can draw the monster's attention from the front, but sneak attacks...
फिर वेपन नहीं निकलेगा।
Well, there isn't much we can do.
Itlua's a lock knight who chose the goblet
भाई
of
weapon ban है
justice.
जबरदस्त है.
Indeed. If Itlua were to strike from behind, he would be forced to become an Oathbreaker Knight. A significant penalty would apply to all actions going forward.
Oof, that's not good.
अबे ना मैंने क्लोरेंट के लिए
If
पुल
we
क्यों नहीं किया
don't
मेरे
defeat
पास?
all these monsters in one go, those explosives are going to blow us sky high.
There's another way. I can use Raging Torrent to dash straight into the thick of
बेचारा
it,
यार,
then
उसको
detonate
देखकर
the
मिला नहीं,
explosives.
वही आ रहा था.
No, that won't do it all. Your character would get wiped out that way. We finally managed to gather the party and have such a lovely time together. It would be such a shame if you were the only one who got wiped out.
But if we don't do this, the character that you've been playing for so long might get wiped out too, Miss Navia. Wouldn't that be worse?
I only just started playing. Please don't. Wait, I've got another trick up my sleeve.
Navia, put that krumkake away.
Uh-oh, that move was blocked too.
These pieces on the table, and the stuff you were saying just now.
A savior has arrived! Right on time! Clorand, this doesn't count as violating the rules, right?
It doesn't, if he's
मैं
willing to
निकाल
join
रहा.
us.
वो spoiler नहीं चाहिए.
But it would
मैं
seem
निकल
that
रहा
the
हूँ,
traveler
spoiler.
hasn't quite grasped the
अरे ये
situation.
quest नहीं है ये. Quest
In
नहीं
short,
है
we're
ये.
playing a tabletop troop script. In it, everyone takes on the role of a character. For
मतलब
example,
main story quest नहीं है.
Navia is
लेकिन
a
चल भाई,
Marashose
चल मिलते हैं
hunter.
भाई.
Yehoda
मैं
is
थोड़ी
a
देर में
master
करने ही
of
वाला हूँ बात
chi,
से लेकिन.
and Itlua is
वैसे
a
भी
rock
आज
knight.
लंच में मिसल है. वाह वाह वाह.
Oh, don't fret. The rules are really simple. Just follow along and have fun. If we wait any longer, those explosives are gonna blast us all sky high!
Well then, due to various factors, I'll set the difficulty of this game to easy mode.
एक वेलकम भेज देना. एक वेलकम भेज देना.
Now then,
पार्टिसिपेट कर देना.
choose the skill for the character you'll be playing.
ज़्यादा
Very
हेड दिखते हैं
well.
ना पार्टिसिपेट करने
In
में.
that case, you want to learn the cooking skill, yes?
ये वैसे वेबसाइट सच में बंद हो गई. गेंशिन ने सच में बैन किया थर्ड पार्टी वेबसाइट.
Very well then. Let the game continue. Just when everyone was at their wits' end, a familiar voice rang out from behind them.
Long time no see, everyone. Looks like you need my help.
By the way, what are you doing here? Could it...
That kind of makes him sound like a summoned spirit. Well, not that he doesn't fit the part.
Indeed. You have
हाँ
called,
एक एक
and
करके
I
बैन
must
कर रहा है.
answer.
Guess that means I was randomly dragged into this game.
He's really good at getting into character, as always.
Though the Marashose hunters had much they wished to share with one another, at this moment, the joy of reunion must yield to the crisis at hand. Now then, the combat round continues. You have the first turn. Also, since we have a new member joining us, I'll be adding some dark cards to boost the enemy's various abilities.
The Traveler isn't a sudden addition. He's been traveling with us all along. We've just parted for a short while, that's all. Totally normal.
I've already counted the dark cards. You should start discussing your...
You're so strict, Clorand. Anyway, let's stick to the original strategy. Now that we have Itlua and I will hold the line out front against the Yehoda, Traveler, all right. Hacking from behind.
Master of-
Why are you a chef? How's a chef gonna...
I can use my frying pan for charge attack.
Yes, if you can actually draw good cards.
So that's how it is. Oh, these tabletop troop games really are complicated. Coming up with a strategy already, huh? Nice work, Traveler.
I understand. A Lock Knight's duty is to protect their companions and be their shield.
Oh, don't worry about it. I can act 3 times in a round, so I'll definitely keep up with you. All right, Itlua. We'll be counting on you.
Then I shall use the skill attached to the Lock Knight.
The Lock Knight raised their shield, chanting the Knight's creed out loud. The monsters were completely captivated by the radiance of justice. And the fearless knight standing within that light. Meanwhile, the 2 companions lying in wait behind the foe seized this opportunity, preparing to launch their attack.
You take the first swing.
The Marashosei hunter deftly took out some cooking utensils and began to quickly prepare an exquisite lured by the aroma. The enemies focused their attention entirely on this feast in the making, completely overlooking the Marashosei hunter and his companion.
Nice! Okay, next I'll... Right, gotta eat... Ah, that hurts! Who bit my leg?
Yeah.
Is it this late already? Oh no, oh no! I completely forgot the task that Boss Neff asked me to handle!
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I can't play right now! Ashru! Wait for me! Hey, why are you running off so fast?
Well, it seems we'll have to end our game here. Navia, put the monster sign back where it was. I saw that. Well, that's quite a long story. If we get the chance, we can sit down and discuss it in detail.
Actually, didn't Itlua say he wanted to invite a colleague to play with us? Since this game's paused anyway, why don't we take this chance to go find him?
Mr. Flint's? Yeah. I'm sure he'll play with us if we go look for him.
Oh, that's perfect! Come on, let's go buy him some gifts first, and then pay him a visit in person.
Traveler, we'll let you know once we're ready.
When the time comes, you have to continue the adventure with us. That's my trusty companion. Mr. Flint's a visit. What kind of gift?
ये वाला बहुत बड़ा था. क्या बोला? वेपन बैनर बहुत गजब है बोलते इस बार का. Attack. Increase attack speed by 10%. ये वाला वेपन मेरे को मिला शायद. The wish will only be the same type item type as target you selected for current. You will receive 1 fate point when you receive 5 weapon or character that is not the one you choose for this. For this for this period मुझे लगता नहीं pretty fast होती है. Faith point variable. वाह वाह क्या बैनर है। हमें ना कोई दूसरा वाला नहीं दे सकते थे वो लोग, ऐसे ही लगता है मेरे को। ऐसा कोई नहीं है यहाँ पे यूज नहीं करता। मेरे को क्ली 2 बार क्यों दिखी? क्ली का ऐसा वाला है, दूसरा वाला क्या है? हमने क्ली को बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं करे लो। इतनी कमी ना कहाँ से यूज करूँगा?
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
यार पूरा खत्म है। क्या 10 बार आ रहा है भाई, ये क्या नाटक है इनका, साला दिमाग खराब है। आंख वाले की ऐसा था। एनिमीज का पता नहीं है, मैंने यार ये वाला ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट था। एक बार गिरे ना तो वाट पे ऊपर जाने दे, नहीं तो मत जाने दे साला, क्या नाटक है पता नहीं डोमेन में चढ़ने का। अबे कमीना आटू मारा ही नहीं उसने।
Take flight. Swirl! Whirling snow! Take flight!
चल ये वाला इजी था थोड़ा, वो फर्स्ट वाला मुश्किल था, उसके बाद तो कम से कम।
Split the bamboo in the morning, dry it till night. Shape and bend it nice and tight. Cross the street. Huh? Where'd this letter in our bag come from? Could it just blow in on the breeze? Oh, it's from the tone-deaf bard.
Tone-deaf bard. चल तू रास्ते में दिख रही तभी एप्पल
Welcome back, old friend. And how should I be addressing you these days? The honorary knight of Mondstadt? The Tumaini of Natlan? Or the great hero of Nodcry?
Well, you sure have your finger on the pulse. What went down?
News travels fast on the wind. But before I can turn your tales into tunes, I need to hear them from the horse's mouth. My wine and my lyre are at the ready. So please, traveler, take a seat. Amazing! Incredible! The Rahier of Solnari and the Doctor? Truly a tale for the ages! So, I'm guessing the Wild Hunt is a thing of the past now that you've defeated the Rahier of Solnari?
Seems that way. We were kind of focused on dealing with the Doctor, though.
Well, that's good to hear. Hey, now that the Northern Abyss calamity is finally resolved, Varka must be getting ready for the triumphant return of his expedition, right? I haven't seen him in the longest time. He must have so many stories to share.
Hooray! Paimon was wondering about that, too. He did call you Barbados.
Let's call it half asleep. I was resting my eyes in the Thousand Winds Temple one day when I heard a commotion outside. It was a young knight who had journeyed there in search of trials and oracles after hearing some tall tales at the local tavern. In fact, all that awaited him were moss-covered walls and an angry ruin guard. But he seemed completely unfazed, laughing heartily as he sent the ruin guard's missiles flying off into the horizons.
Huh! They must have been making quite a racket if it was enough to wake up the tone-deaf bard.
Yeah, it sounded kinda like...
Hey! Whoa, bring it on!
like that.
Giving up already? You're not half as tough as Varka said.
A young knight of Favonius trekking out to the Thousand Winds Temple in search of adventure.
A bard in green clothes. Does this mean... I was just wondering how I was gonna track you down.
Oh! So you were looking for the tone-deaf bard? Strange place to start your search.
I would have gone to cafe.
Hold on. Blonde hair, white hair. You must be the honorary knight. And Paimon, the Grand Master. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lowen, Vice Captain of the 5th Company of the Knights of Favonius and a member of the Expeditionary Force. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Oh, so you're part of the expedition, huh? Right. So that's why Paimon's never seen you around in Mondstadt.
That's probably because...
Yeah.
That's probably rampant.
Fine.
Oh, so you're part of the expedition, huh? Right. So that's why Paimon's never seen you around in Mondstadt. Hey, wait a second. We never saw you in Nodcry either.
Not on my own.
Then, once the Wild Hunt calmed down, I got sent back to Mondstadt. Mixed blessing, if you ask me. Sounds like I missed out on some serious action.
No wonder we never saw you while we were dealing with the doctor. So...
Deliver some letters. There's one for the Knights of Favonius, one for the church, another for the Dawn Winery, at least 10 of them in total.
Jeez! How many people has he sent to deliver his mail now? Mika, Inefa, Lowen. He should just hire a full-time mailman already.
Mika. Nefa. Mika. Ah, Mika.
In fact, he's earned himself a new nickname. Let's go with Sir Writes a Lot.
I'll have you know that poetry and letters were humanity's earliest means of expressing their thoughts. So, tone deaf or not, I wear the title of Bard with pride. And I consider Sir Writes a Lot to be quite a compliment.
Wait, really? Darn it! Maybe Paimon should come up with some harder-hitting nicknames for these two.
Anyway, since this young man has come all the way to the Thousand Winds Temple looking for me, I assume he must have a letter for me too.
You sure are, to use the Grand Master's own words.
This one is for the bard in green clothes. These days, I think he goes by Venti. Doesn't really have an address as such. You could start by asking around in Mondstadt, or maybe try your luck at the Thousand Winds Temple.
I figured that since there was this punching bag here, Ruin Guard, I could get some practice in while I was at it. So, I came right here the second I got back to my—
That Varker is so slapdash sometimes. It's a good thing we—
Oh, he also said to remind you to write—
Nothing in particular. Just some idle chatter between two drinking buddies. But if I'm supposed to write back, Varka gave you a whole bunch of letters to deliver, right? Maybe you can—
My thoughts exactly. Assuming I can find the way. Hopefully the roads haven't changed too much since the pre-expedition.
Well, why don't we have Mondstadt's honorary knight escort this homeward-bound wanderer to the city? I'm sure some—
Let's go! It's been a while since Paimon's done any guide work.
Thank you so much, honorary knight. And you, Miss Guide.
The Abyss. The Wild Hunt. Andreas.
And
Get home safe, Varka.
Why do my ears feel so hot all of a sudden? Surely there's no way anyone found the secret stash of cash in my office. That would be terrible.
Grandmaster, bad time to get distracted.
Watch out! Enemies approaching!
Huh? Oh, it's just a few stragglers. They're no real threat to us. This expedition is almost over. We just need to deal with these final few targets, and then we will make our triumphant return.
C3 R3 Ha
On me.
Stormwind!
Without the ray here of Sonari to direct them, it seems like all the—
If this is all that the Wild Hunt can muster now, surely the Lightkeepers of Nodcry will be able to deal with what's left.
Just like I thought. What we should be wary of now—
Grandmaster, based on Lightkeeper intel and our own reconnaissance, one of the suspected targets should be just up ahead.
Good. You know the drill. Stay here and stand guard.
Yes, Grandmaster!
We meet again, Andreas.
So, you've returned from Mondstadt. Don't you want to see what it looks like now? I was planning to take a look around there myself. Perhaps Perhaps you could be my guide.
What's this? An echo from 1,000 years ago? Everything seems normal so far. Here's hoping I'm just overthinking things. It's your turn, my friend. Come, Andreas!
Although, for returning to your old home, perhaps Andreas is a little too ostentatious. Might be better to go by...
Boreas.
Huh?
Injustice. Corruption. Iniquity. Is the surface world still as wretched and foul as ever? Answer me, heir to the knighthood of Boreas.
Looks like I'm not getting out of this without a fight. That's where things stand with the expedition. The victors will be returning home soon, so make sure to stock up on wine for the celebration. P.S. I hope everyone's keeping up with their daily training. I'll be testing you all when I get back to make sure no one's regressed. P.P.S. I wrote individual letters for each and every one of you. Don't forget to write back.
That's all.
Everyone gets one?
Hey, welcome, PK.
Wow! Sir Writes a Lot is really living up to his name.
I guess the Grand Master must have something specific to say to each of us. Even I got a letter, and I'm not a real knight yet.
Jean?
तुम्हारा क्लोरेंट का
Oh,
आया ना?
yes. That's our Grand Master for you.
By the way, anyone know where I can find the cavalry captain? I have a letter for him as well.
You mean Kaya? He said he was meeting a friend from the church at the Angel
कैसा लगा
Share.
उसका?
Allegedly for work. Said he was exchanging intel.
उसमें जो नीचे में
But
एकदम
I'd
मस्त
say
लिख कर आ रहा
there's
था
a
मतलब
50-50 chance he's
Dungeons
just
and
there for
Dragons
a
वाला
drink.
था हाँ इसमें वो नीचे में उनके मतलब कैसा जैसे लिख कर नहीं आ रहा था क्या गेम का मतलब जैसे गेम में जैसा अपन देखते हैं दूसरे गेम्स में जाकर वैसा कितना मस्त दिख रहा था मतलब इसमें उनके जो स्टाइल था पूरा चेंज कर दिया था अच्छा लगा अभी और आएगा बोलना आगे वो क्या बोलते हैं फ्लेंस भी आएगा उसमें बात बोल रहे थे वो फ्लेंस के पास जाएंगे फिर वहाँ पे कंटिन्यू करेंगे
Paimon bets there'll be lots of familiar faces there. How about we deliver Kaya's letter? And these are there too as well.
इसकी स्टोरी को पूरी वैसी है
Really? Oh, that would be a great help, thank you.
Our thanks to you too, Lowen. The other knights will help distribute the remaining letters. You've had a long journey. Please go get some rest.
Great. But I won't be resting just yet. I have
ये
one
वाला
last
कैरेक्टर है
letter
ना
to
लोहेन
deliver to
इसकी बात कर रहा था ना माइटो
This one
को देख के
I was
मेरा
planning on
बॉल्डर्स
delivering
गेट खेलने का मन हो
personally.
गया
I heard that another challenger recently passed Boreas' trial. Well, with any luck, that wolf might be willing to reveal himself to me, too.
Very well. But please remember to show respect to the local wolves.
I will. Goodbye.
जीन
Grandmaster offered lots of advice in his letter regarding my
यार
recent
नोएल का डिजाइन
assessments.
बहुत सही लगता है
I didn't think he'd spare a thought for that kind of thing in the middle of an expedition.
जितनी भी कैरेक्टर्स है
So,
उसमें से मतलब एक
honorary
नोएल
knight?
ऐसा लगता है नोएल का
If you have
कैरेक्टर
the
ही लगता है
time,
जो फाइट के लिए
Do you
प्रिपेयर
think
है
you could help me
नहीं
out
पूरा
with my
आर्मर
special
वगैरह
training?
आर्मर वगैरह के साथ
He wants to test me to see if my skills have regressed? I still haven't forgotten how he went easy on me last time. I'm assuming you must have seen him going all out before. When the time comes, you'd better keep an eye on him for me.
Ah, the Grand Master. The archives are filled with documents awaiting his review. I'm not letting him run off again until he's finished dealing with every last one. On another note, have you spoken to Jean? I hope she'll finally be able to relax a little once Varka returns.
चलो मैं जा रहा हूँ अब थोड़ा टाइम फिर पढ़ाई करनी खेलेगा फिर पढ़ाई करनी होगी.
Okay, we'll deliver these letters to the Adventurers Guild and the Cat's Tail. You can just...
The expedition is finally wrapping up.
ये दोनों क्लियर और ये दोनों क्या बात कर रहे हैं?
The Grand Master wrote in his letter that the boom blossom bombs we sent worked really well. He wants to know if we've made any more.
Uncle Marcus coming home? Yay! I can't wait to go outside and play with him.
Honorary Knight, you're still here? Is it that obvious?
वारका का quest था भाई.
Huh? But Vark is coming back. The situation...
True. From what you and Lowen have told me, the expedition has indeed accomplished its strategic objectives. It seems that Mondstadt no longer faces any threat from the perils of the North. And yet, for some reason, I can't help but recall something the Grand Master said to me before he left.
If I don't make it back from this expedition, you'll have to assume the mantle of Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius. If it comes to that, remember to train the next Knight of Boreas in my stead. I've planted some promising seeds in Mondstadt, but they still need time to grow. Some have yet to master the art of social interaction. Some don't yet understand that they too need protecting. And some, well, some might not even want to be a knight yet. What's wrong?
अच्छा स्टोरी है मुझे तो लग रहा है
I'm going on an expedition, not marching to my death. This is all just a contingency plan in the event that I'm unable to return. Until I return, I leave them in your care.
The lineage of the Knights of Boreas has nearly been extinguished twice in Mondstadt's history. The first wandering knight to claim the title arrived in Mondstadt 1,000 years ago, along with his wolf companion. He was as free as the wind. He left no succession plan behind. Even his name was lost to history. The title of Boreas could have disappeared from Mondstadt just as he did, but he had an informal disciple, a knight named Ravenwood, who admired the Knight of Boreas greatly. Ravenwood's valor and swordsmanship earned him the wolf spirit's when the old aristocracy tried to regain power. Ravenwood came once more to Mondstadt's defense. From then on, the title of Knight of Boreas was passed down from generation to generation within the Knights of Favonius.
gameplay का जगह बंदेगा कोई शक
You mean that big blue wolf in Wolfenden?
तुम करोगे यार मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगा. Pulse नहीं है पास यार.
The Wolf of the North is the surviving spirit of an ancient god, and the Knight of Boreas serves as an intermediary between him and humanity. Lupus Boreas, who had never known what it meant to love,
अच्छे खासे pulse रहते ना तो कर लिया रहता लेकिन pulse नहीं है भाई यहाँ पर ज़्यादा.
journey with his human companion. In the end, he chose to allow his power to become one with the land. This was once a well-known tale in Mondstadt, but these days, few people are aware that the starting point of the Wolf King's journey was not Mondstadt, but Nodcry.
Huh?
26 pulse चाहिए है.
You don't seem surprised. Did you sense something in Nodcry? The great Wolf King of the North came here from Nodcry. Although he doesn't like to speak of his past. In fact, he rarely shows himself to people at all nowadays. As such, this tale can only be found deep within the Knights of Favonius library. Even among the Knights of Favonius, few are aware of it. The Grand Master didn't disclose any concrete objectives before departing on his expedition. I couldn't help but wonder whether it might somehow be related to Nodcry's Wolf of the North. I kept my speculations to myself, however. Sharing them would only spread unwarranted suspicion toward the Four Winds among the people of Mondstadt. You experienced the turmoil caused by Duval and the East Wind's actions for yourself. Surely you can understand my concern?
No wonder Varka wasn't clear about his motives. Is that what he was worried?
Very possibly. He was probably also reserving judgment. Having heard about your experiences in Nodcry, I now suspect that the Grand Master hadn't yet ascertained the true identity of our enemy at that time. And as it turns out, the Calamity born in the north wasn't an ancient god, but rather the Wild Hunt and the Doctor. I guess we were both jumping to conclusions. Yes, I completely agree. The tide can turn rapidly in times of battle. It's a leader's responsibility to prepare for every possible contingency. Even if his contingency plan never needs to be put into action, I'm sure the Grand Master is relieved to know that it's in place.
That turned into a pretty long conversation, huh? We should probably go deliver those letters to the Angel's Share now.
एस्कोफियर है तो एस्कोफियर के लिए भी जाना है तो वो फिर अभी पुल्स कम पड़ जाएंगे भाई तो बस 26 पुल्स ही नहीं बचेंगे वार का मिल जाए बड़ी बात हो जाएगी हाँ मेरे पास है
When you're mixing drinks in hot weather,
start
by pouring in cold water and add ice cubes. Then drain out the water before adding the other ingredients. How's that for a secret recipe? Maybe it's worth a little intel in return.
Please. I've known that little trick for a good 10 years at least. You'll have to offer something a little more substantial if you're serious about trading.
I know there's no one else in the tavern right now, but do you two really need to talk so loudly? Especially if you're supposed to be exchanging confidential information.
Hiya, Rosaria! Diluc! Paimon knew we'd find you here.
Looks like it's about to get even noisier.
A little liveliness never killed anyone. Traveler.
Please allow me to once again express my sincere condolences regarding your late father and the incident with Eric. We make absolutely no excuse for his crimes. I hope you will give some serious consideration to the question I asked you before I left, though I'm sure you're tired of hearing me ask by now. The Knights of Favonius will always welcome you.
From the look on your face, I'm guessing the Grand Master is still refusing to drop it?
He nags like an old man. It's hardly surprising.
Huh? Drop what?
Nothing, really. Before leaving on the expedition, Varka came here to chat with me. He, asked me if I'd consider rejoining the Knights of Favonius. And I declined. He expressed his regret about everything that happened, and asked me to reconsider. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, right. Sounds like you skipped a lot of...
Whatever details I chose to omit are in the past. Dragging them back up now serves no purpose.
You say that now, but back then, you couldn't let it go. You and the Knights of Favonius were constantly at odds.
I wasn't seeing the full picture. I've had a lot of time to reflect since then, but my answer remains unchanged. I'm not rejoining the Knights of Favonius. Both the Grandmaster and the acting Grandmaster are too upright and honorable. I can't see the shadows that lurk beneath them due to the size of the organization they lead. They need someone on the outside to keep watch vigilantly.
If I had a Mora for every time I've heard you repeat that argument. I actually don't disagree with the first part of what you said, but don't you think someone can keep tabs on things from the inside?
When you join an organization, you're bound by its rules, no matter how free it may seem on the surface.
You think so? never mind the knights. Have you honestly ever been bound by the rules of the church?
Good question. Have you considered that maybe that's why I chose to join the church and not the knights to begin with?
Are they arguing or not? It's kind of hard to tell.
But मैंने सोचा था वाका की बैक स्टोरी
Kind of like
देखने
the
तो मिलेगी, but
contingencies Jean was talking about. The more ways they have to protect their home, the better. Huh? Traveler?
बस कुछ बता मत क्या होने वाला है, बाकी ठीक है.
What should I report back to the public order inside the city? Monster activity in the wild? Oh, and a review of the latest vintages.
My reply won't be a long one, as usual. I'm sure Varka won't be surprised.
ये बाहर क्यों आई वो
If you
फिर?
hadn't had to deliver that guy's mail, you wouldn't have been subjected to all this tedious arguing. When I write back, I'll tell him to quit making trouble.
It's no trouble. Lowen did most of the work. We just volunteered to do the last leg of the journey. Mostly so we could come say hello.
So you see what's really going on here? All three of us fell for that old rascal's scheme far too readily.
Huh? Scheme? What?
No. While I'm sure Varka knows full well that Diluc would never agree to rejoin the Knights, I believe the sentiments he expressed were genuine, as was his offer to welcome Diluc back. There are people like Kaya and I, and then there are those who are true champions of justice to the core. Those people are the most susceptible to being driven to extremes by great upheaval. It's happened in Mondstadt before. Not only that, but it happened to a Knight of Boreas. That'll really hit home for Varka. And that's why his nagging is even more persistent than usual. Yeah. So no one's told you this before? The lineage of the Knights of Boreas had nearly been extinguished twice in history. The first was at its inception. The second was the case I was alluding to.
Oh! Wasn't Jean telling us about this? Wait. And then we got caught up talking about the expedition and we
I happened to hear about it from Varka once when he was drinking and started yammering on. The second crisis in the Knights of Boreas lineage. It was 500 years ago. Although the Knights of Boreas are meant to be intermediaries between humans and wolves, in practice, very few of them have been truly recognized by Lupus Boreas over the past millennium. Of those who have, the best known are the first Knight of Boreas, Ravenwood, the wolf pup Rostam, and Varka himself. But 500 years ago, there was one who earned the respect of Boreas even before gaining the title. He was a disciple of Rostam. They thought he would become the mightiest Knight of Boreas who ever lived. He was the perfect knight. Righteous, principled. His name was Roland, the blood-stained knight.
Yikes! Bloodstained Knight?
Well, apparently his original title was the White Knight, but he lost countless comrades during the Abyssal Calamity 500 years ago, including his tutor and mentor, Rostam. The endless bloodshed stained his sword and armor a crimson as deep as black, transforming the White Knight into the Blood-Stained Knight. After that, he threw himself completely into battling monsters, leaving Mondstadt and the Knights of Favonius behind. To this day, no one knows his final whereabouts. It's hard to say whether the loss of an important figure in his life is what drove him to the point of obsession, or whether he was already too far gone to save. But had he known that the Knights of Favonius would always welcome him back, perhaps things would have turned out differently.
अरे 6000 है 6000.
So if you want my opinion, the reason why Varka keeps asking Diluc to rejoin, despite knowing that he'll never say yes, is to let him know you're not alone. After all these years, he's still as persistent as ever. Just like how he used to be with me.
Huh. Turns out
I
Varka's
guess
a
so.
lot more thoughtful than he lets on. Paimon had the wrong idea about him.
मतलब?
Anyway, there's still something about this whole Boreas business that Paimon isn't really getting. Wasn't Andreas a god in Mondstadt thousands of years in the past? If so, why did Jean say that Boreas and the Wandering Knight only arrived here just 1,000 years ago? Plus, Paimon's super curious about what happened to Roland. That's a great idea! Jean said he hasn't been showing himself much lately, but he always seems happy to oblige whenever you show up. Let's go!
मर गया। अबे बेबे। साला आते बराबर डोमेन पे।
What's going on here? Was Bulbumdum always like this? Paimon has a bad feeling about this. The Wild Hunt? What are they doing here? Watch out!
उनको पता है बाकी एनिमीज कुछ कर नहीं सकते हैं।
Cleanup sequence in Animal Test 6308.
Close your eyes. Observe. Night falls.
Oh, are you all right? Oh no! What now?
Stop right there! Answer me this. The 2 letters I gave you, who are they for?
2 letters? Wasn't it 3?
Okay. Well, Paimon's coolest naive expression doesn't appear to be an act.
Hey! What are you trying to say? Wait, Paimon passed a test? Really?
You may dispense with your suspicions. The wolf pack has borne witness. They fought. A familiar scent.
Well, if the boss of Wolvendom has vouched for you, I guess I should apologize for doubting you just now. Sure was. Fortunately, my experience in Nodcry didn't go to waste. Turns out the Wild Hunt all feel the same when you stab them. They didn't stand a chance. Something seems wrong with that old wolf, though. Go on.
Lupus Boreas, not injured. Why so weak? Am I not strong enough?
By the way,
Not to blame.
Body mania.
With your iron claw, you successfully blocked their attacks. However, they followed my trail from the distant north across the ley lines. They sought to corrupt the territory I protect. We meet again, human Lupical.
So, are you saying that the Wild Hunt we just got attacked by came all the way—
As you know, I stand before you as an incomplete being. I am but one remnant of the god Andreas' soul, the source of this turmoil. I can sense it.
Huh? Now Paimon's even more confused. How can he be in 2 places at once?
For many gods, housing a part of their soul within an object is no difficult feat. But those who can perform such delicate partitions as this are rare, even among the gods. The Wolf King, Andreas, was particularly adept in this art. Otherwise, no remnants of his soul would have survived till the present day.
Huh? The bard's back?
Tone Bard? What are you doing here?
Maybe the god of Animo guided me here. For it appears that someone is in need of a tale from the distant past. And our wolf friend doesn't seem too keen on recounting it himself. Who better than a bard to do the honors? Lord Boreas, do I have your blessing to share this story?
As you wish.
Lupus Boreas wandered the frozen tundra and stumbled into the Seelie Hall. Enchanted by their song, tender as the dawn's starlight, and curious about the ways of humankind, the wolf bade farewell to his home and set off for the city to the south. As the high tower crumbled and the fierce winds fell silent, Lupus Boreas, who once had hunted with the storm winds himself, looked within and inquired, was the shelter he provided for humanity really any different from that given by the reclusive king in his tower? The wolf entrusted those under his protection to a new god and quietly returned to the frozen north. There, in a palace long since abandoned by its former master, the great wolf closed his eyes and slept. 500 bitter winters passed, then 500 equally frigid springs. He slumbered undisturbed until a night stumbled in from the cold, just as Lupus Boreas had once done at the Seelie Hall, and awoke him at long last. The knight asked the wolf to join him on a journey south, to see once more the land that had all but faded from his memory. The gentle wolf, unwilling to refuse the human's earnest plea, split his soul into two halves and left his home once more. Seeing how the ice and snow had given way to verdant plains, hearing the laughter and song that now filled the once somber city, the aging Lupus Boreas turned to his friend, the god of Animo, and remarked, "So, this is the world the humans dreamed of." Though the knight's journey was not yet over, the wolf chose to bid farewell to his companion here. He had written the end to his story. What knowledge he had been gifted flowed into the land. Everything he was, he gave unto the world. Well, that's how a bard would tell the tale. Lord Boreas, is there anything you'd like to add?
There is no need for you to ask that question.
So that's what happened. You returned to Mondstadt with that knight 1,000 years ago, and then, for the sake of the new Mondstadt, you...
You need not feel remorse on my account. That was my answer, my decision. If anyone should feel regret, it is the part of me who remained in Notcry. I fear Andrias has not found peace in his heart even to this day. That is surely why those vile aberrations were able to exploit his weakness, sowing the seeds of all the turbulence that has ensued.
But we followed Boreas' trail in Notcry. We investigated and discovered no signs of instability.
Andrias should still be slumbering by the lakeside. Perhaps all the recent turmoil in Notcry has had unforeseen consequences. And there's more. I detect another familiar scent from across the ley lines. A scent that reeks of blood.
Oh, the White Knight who became the Bloodstained Knight? The mightiest knight of Boreas? But wasn't he from 500 years ago? You think he's immortal or something?
I remember him as just a man. His lifespan should be no longer than any other of his kind. But it was the ancient kingdom of Conria, as you call it. Beyond that, I know not if he...
If you want to get to the bottom of this, I'm afraid you'll have to make another trip to Nodcry. As luck would have it, another old friend of ours just so happens to be free right now. If you ask him nicely, he might give you a lift. That could save you a lot of time on the road.
No wonder I can suddenly sense the East Wind's presence.
If even Mondstadt has been affected by the fallout,
Varka, is he...
I believe too many passengers would slow our dear friend down. I fear he only has room to carry one person. Along with...
Alright.
Along with...
Warrior to fight Nodcry's battles. I'll stay here and deal with any wild hunt that try harass.
Alright.
Moves.
I stay in Mondstadt too. With
Razor, give me your iron claw. Golden-haired traveler, give this token to the current knight of Boreas. It is a wolf spirit. It contains my power and thoughts. Though I have given him a piece before, this should...
The Dominator of Wolves once bestowed the power of his soul upon his pack, strengthening their hearts and sharpening their claws and fangs.
But human hearts and flesh cannot bear the soul of a wolf directly. It would be akin to forcefully merging a human and a wolf into one being. They would descend into chaos. To prevent the entanglement of souls, the most I can do is temporarily house my power and thoughts. Although, truth be told, that knight does not lack for power. What he needs more is the thoughts within. The Great Wolf King of the North remains strong for now.
I will protect Lupakal. The North and Varka, I leave to you.
Just give me the word whenever you're ready. Any questions before you set off? Better ask now. The soul of a wolf is as unyielding as ice, and Andrius is a master of molding and shaping it. His people once drew great strength and wisdom from the wolf spirit, but human hearts and flesh cannot contain the soul of a god. Attempting to place the wolf spirit in a human vessel would slowly devour their sense of self. That's why Lupus Boreas developed the technique of imbuing weapons with his soul. It is his way of blessing his human Lupakal with the wolf spirit's protection. In fact, there is an ancient song that tells this tale. A weapon once of common iron, now through friendship turned divine. Twixt man and wolf a bond was made, a power born within the blade. As much as he might claim not to accept humans, his actions sing a different tune. Oh, but keep that little observation between us. Any questions before you set off? 500 years ago, Roland seemed destined to become the mightiest knight of Boreas ever to have lived. But he believed firmly in his own ideals of chivalry, vowing to eliminate all injustice from the world. But the world had neither his mentor, the wolf pup Rostam, nor the Grand Master, known as the Lion of Light, could persuade him to temper his obsession. But what was the scent that reeks of blood that Lupus Boreas sensed? And what is its connection to Conria and the Abyss? Perhaps you will uncover the truth in Nodcry. Any questions before you set off? The root of this turmoil lies with the remnant soul that Andrius, Dominator of Wolves and God of the North Wind, left in Nodcry. He once left Nodcry and braved the blizzards to confront the God of Storms and claim the right to rule. Yet even as the tower fell, he chose to abandon his claim. Instead, he returned to the north and slumbered for 1,000 years before finally journeying back under the name of Boreas, with the
Blue
first night of Boreas to witness the new face of Mondstadt. When the wolf spirit could no longer maintain his physical form, Boreas chose to pour his power into the ley lines. With that, he became the North Wind of Mondstadt. Any questions before you set off? All right. Over to you, Dvalin.
इतना बड़ा ड्रैगन इतने सारे ऊपर से उड़ के जाएंगे देखेंगे नहीं लोग
The night of Boreas awaits below. We must part ways here. Barbatos and I have other plans. We will meet you again later.
Alright! Hey, wait! How are we getting down?
तो गॉड ऑफ वॉर स्टाइल में गया डाइव वैसा ही होना चाहिए था जैसा था इतना मस्त लगता देखने अबे मरा
Hold the line! The enemy's on the brink of collapse!
Grandmaster!
Haha! Reinforcements! It's about time!
And Paimon too!
Let's get to the team.
We're just about hanging in there.
Again,
Most of their grunts are taken care of now. Their leader's gonna have to make a decision soon. Fight or flight? What will it be, mightiest knight of Boreas?
As expected, this hastily summoned Wild Hunt horde is nothing but a disorganized rabble. A mere shadow of the forces gathered by the Rahir of Solmari. But they have served their purpose. I now understand your tactics, and you, in turn, understand mine. This is fair. This is the way of chivalry. Farewell, heir to the knighthood of Boreas. Whether you choose to resist me or not, I shall set right the injustices of this world. In the name of the blood-stained knight.
Guess they're retreating for now.
So that Wolf of the North lookalike, that was Andreas? But why would he be leading the Wild Hunt? And, forget that. We can save the details for later. He was the enemy boss, right?
There's no point chasing after him. We've crossed blades already, and it ended in a stalemate. Right now, there's nothing we could do about him. True. We're still not certain of his true identity, but whether he's a god corrupted by the Abyss or a legendary knight, killing him might be just about possible. Especially now that you're here. The difficult part is, we can't kill him right now.
Huh? What do you mean?
No. Judging from our skirmishes so far, I don't think he's got any special abilities of that caliber. Nor does he have the ridiculous level of power wielded by the five sinners. But compared to Rare, our current Exactly. Sounds like you realize what the crux of the issue is. I managed to cut off a sample from our foe, which Albedo and Durin are analyzing as we speak. Meanwhile, our other allies should be making their way home from their own battles by now. Let's discuss this further when they're back. We still have some big challenges ahead before this expedition can finally be declared a victory.
You look worried.
The meeting's probably gonna be in the biggest tent, right? Looks like a bunch of people are there already. Why don't we go?
Hey, good to see you again. Oh, Boss Sneff asked me to pass on a message. She went to see Lauma and Columbina at the Frost Moon Scions. Apparently, there haven't been any changes to that space.
That means the recent Wild Hunt attacks have nothing to do with Rere, right? Whew, that's a relief. Paimon doesn't fancy facing him again.
They're keeping a close watch on it just in case. With so many moon experts on the case, we're in pretty safe hands, huh? Oh yeah, Lauma and Columbina asked me to pass on a message too. Focus on the enemy you are facing. The moon will protect you all.
You know something? These Knights of Favonius are paying me a pretty nice sum to deliver a few simple messages.
फोन क्यों नहीं कर लिया सबका?
Short distance, switching to chat mode. Hello there, Paimon, traveler.
मजाक है, सब कुछ नहीं होगा वो.
Varka placed a sizable order with the Clink Clink
Just
Krumkake
messing
craft
it.
shop.
Okay.
I know it's hard at work.
कौन सा act में है?
I am also
आकॉन क्वेस्ट नहीं आया ऐसे भी ये. वार्का का क्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ. आकॉन नहीं. Story quest.
Hey, Honorary Knight. Looks like pretty much everyone's here. Oh, Beto and Durin are just wrapping up their analysis. You want to wait for them here? That works too. All right. Hey, Honorary Knight. Oh, Beto and Durin are just wrapping up. Great.
Yeah.
And that's where things stand. The Wild Hunt is no longer under the Reikir of Solnari's control, but it has been reborn from the ashes and is now launching widespread attacks. Intel from the Frost Moon Scions and the Curatorium of Secrets corroborates this. No disturbances have been detected in the space where Rere resides. What we are facing here is a completely new foe.
मुझे मिल गया वार्का अभी. Congratulations भाई. कितने पुल में मिला? कितना लंबा होता है ये कैरेक्टर पर? आर्कॉन को थोड़ा छोटा ही होता है लेकिन मेरे को पता नहीं बड़ा भी हो सकता है.
Summarizing current situation.
कितने पुल में मिला?
To confirm, the present leader of the Wild Hunt is the creature resembling a wolf. Andrius, god of the North Wind.
More precisely, it's the external will that has seized control of Andrius' spirit, namely Roland, the bloodstained knight.
PC में अपग्रेड किया. हाँ, PC में अपग्रेड करने रखा है मैंने. हो रहा है अभी.
Whoa. Hold on. I'm completely lost. Isn't Roland some monster from like 500 years ago? How'd he suddenly get wrapped up with a god from 1,000 years in the past and the present day Wild Hunt?
Allow us to explain that part. Are you familiar with compensation mechanisms? When an organism sustains damage, relevant tissues will undergo changes to offset the loss of function. For example, when one kidney is damaged, the other will be strengthened to compensate. Or, when a main artery is blocked, the collateral vessels become more active. Similarly, when the Wild Hunt lost their leader, the Abyss harnessed the memories that flow throughout the ley lines to fashion a new one, fit for the present circumstances. That new leader is a mirror image of Roland, the bloodstained knight.
Right. No matter how strong the compensation is, it will never quite match the functionality of the original organ. The Roland replica can't possibly imitate Rere's overwhelming power, nor his ability to disguise himself as others. So, the Abyss made use of the connection between Roland and Boreas to compensate for this lack of power.
The replica corrupted and took control of Andrius as he slumbered by the bank of Amsvartnir, ultimately manifesting as the giant beast that you all witnessed. However, exactly why the Abyss chose Roland to mimic, and indeed how it was able to do so, remains unclear.
I guess he must have gotten caught up with the Abyss or Nodcry somehow during his wandering
तो
through
win किया
Teyvat.
तूने वो 6 तूने win
But we
किया
can
था.
keep those questions on the back burner.
Okay, Paimon gets all that, but what did you mean when you said we can't kill him right now?
We can't kill him right now because a dead god may prove more dangerous than a living one. From intelligence gathered during the expedition, we have reason to believe that the power released when a god is felled can have catastrophic consequences for us mortals. Worse still, the wrath that remains after a god's passing becomes a source of endless turmoil.
भाई मैं ना कर रहा हूँ
Once
पुल.
gods
क्यों
contaminate
क्या हो
the
गया?
land, they will persist for thousands of years. This land has already been ravaged by the Wild Hunt. If we add god remains to the mix, it'd be like adding salt to an open wound,
यार, 2 मिनट washroom
placing
जाके.
everyone who lives here in perilous danger.
क्या बोल रहा है भाई? अब डायरेक्ट सिंड्रो ने पुल करूंगा, सही है? अरे भाई बहुत गंदा डैमेज है इवन विद डूरन, उससे अच्छा तो स्कॉकी है। उसका प्ले स्टाइल अच्छा है। मैंने स्टोरी क्वेस्ट में ट्राई किया तब अच्छा लगा, बट तो ठीक था। प्लस सिग्नेचर, हाँ स्टोरी क्वेस्ट में सिग्नेचर वेपन स्टार्टिंग फाइल में को मार without signature Varka is the speed. उसका सिग्नेचर वेपन एक
Query. While I can indeed find records of disasters caused by god remains in my database, there also appear to be cases of gods dying naturally with no ill effects. In Natlan, the passing of the Pyro-Archon's flame is a common occurrence throughout history, and even the part of Andreas who remains in Mondstadt has experienced death once before, has he not?
Great question. Glad you asked. Honorary Knight, you said Lupus Boreas gave you a token to pass on to me? Please, present it now. It should help explain things faster. Come forth, Boreas!
This form has come to the end of its time. I'm afraid I can accompany you no further on your journey. My soul will fall into silence, and my power will flow into the ley lines of this land. Perhaps this is all that a wolf can hope to do for humankind. Do not grieve for me, for this is the end I have chosen.
43% buff करता है, 43 बस.
Remember that one day,
भाई 43 बहुत होता है.
your wandering too must come to an end. Where and when shall that be? A final wish before I slumber. Sing me a song. That melody you so often hummed in the taverns.
You saw it too. You must have keen powers of perception. Not that it surprises me. That was Boreas' final thoughts before merging with the ley lines. It's the reason Mondstadt remains unharmed by his god remains. In his final moments, he made a choice to give everything he was to the ley lines. All to protect Mondstadt from harm.
Sounds like Andreas spent thousands of years searching for his place in the world, too.
Yes. And now our task is to return the answer he found, the decision he made, to Andreas's heart. Only then can he break free from the corruption and control of the Abyss, and make that decision once more.
I see. I would say that planting thoughts inside the mind of a god sounds a little far-fetched, but since it was his own wish to begin with, it sounds feasible to me.
Wait, we already have a perfect solution? Then why are we even having this meeting? Let's go do this thing!
Ha ha ha. If only it were that simple. Unfortunately, this one thought alone is unlikely to be powerful enough to break through the Abyss's control and reach Andreas's heart. We need to find a way to make the thought within this sword stronger and more resilient.
For now, Boreas needs all his remaining strength to fight against the abyssal corruption to Mondstadt's ley lines. He can't afford to send us any more of his power. However, since his form was unstable during his journey with the first Knight of Boreas, many wolf spirit fragments were left behind along the way. If we can collect those fragments, we can use them to strengthen the decision to merge with the ley lines.
So we need to retrace his steps and look for random fragments? But they could be anywhere between Nodcry and Mondstadt. It'll be like looking for a needle in a haystack.
You don't need to worry about that. There's a few fragments left to gather in Nodcry, but apart from that, most of them are already inside this sword. I've been...
Huh? Wait, really?
Most of them are already inside this...
Huh? Wait.
Most of them are already inside this sword. I've been collecting them during the whole expedition. Most of them are all... I mean, it's an expedition, not a stroll in the park. Each step of the way, we've been hard at work planning for every possible contingency. Not just the wild hunt in the Abyss, but ancient gods remaining in Nodcry.
Sounds like this plan was a long time in the making. It's almost as if you foresaw the future.
As a matter of fact, I did. I caught a glimpse of fate's reflection. But I can't take credit for it. It was all thanks to the help of a few friends. Still, calamity was brewing in the north. Had I known more, we could have saved a lot of energy. Instead, we've had to make best guesses, prepare for every possible scenario. If all that preparation went to waste, all the better for it. Sure is. Just one crucial step remains. We need to gather the last few wolf spirit fragments scattered around Nodcry, and use them to make the thought within this sword as strong as it can possibly be. According to what Boreas told me before we left Mondstadt, his form was at its most unstable at the beginning of his journey. That means the fragments here should be the most powerful ones. But of course, we've been tied up fighting battles since the day we set foot in Nodcry. First with the Wild Hunt, then with the Doctor. So, it wasn't until recently that we were finally able to confirm the status of the Wolf Spirit fragments. We now know there are 3 left to find.
Okay, so 3 more mini-expeditions to go.
I managed to gather 1 fragment before Roland reappeared. I also have a confirmed location for the second, which I'll take care of in short order. As for the 3rd fragment, we've identified a general search area to focus on. The final snag is that since our foe is a replica of Roland, he too will be aware of Andreas' history. He's sure to try and sabotage our plans by any means at his disposal. So everyone needs to bring their A-game.
With our foe being from Mondstadt, it's our duty as Mondstadters to defeat him.
And since the Wild Hunt is involved, the Lightkeepers will provide their full support.
The Clink Clink Krumkake craft shop will also help in any way we can.
So what do they need me here for? Wait, I think maybe I signed a contract at some point. Didn't exactly scrutinize it though. I mean, who actually reads those things anyway, right?
Ah, great. Knew I could count on you all. Lastly, our friend from the Curatorium of Secrets will provide intel and relay battlefield communications. Looking at you, Yehoda.
So, you'll be darting back and forth across the battlefield, dodging the wild hunt and the shadow of an ancient god.
Rating for Yehoda updated. Higher quality ingredients will be used to prepare your future meals.
Darn it! I should have known this payday wouldn't come that easy.
I'll deal with the second wolf spirit fragment, which we already know the location of. The moment you make any progress with Fragment 3, be sure to give me an update. Traveler, could you join me in retrieving Fragment 2? All right, time is of the essence. Let's move out,
Yehoda, you dummy! You took the stupid job of your own free will! Oh, crying isn't gonna get you out of it!
बेचारी हो रहा यार. हेलो माइटो, कैसा है?
Didn't you say Fragment 2 was supposed to be right here? Where the heck is it?
Seems like we've run into a slight hindrance. Can I leave this to you, Honorary Knight? Traveler, Paimon, when this is all over, I'm gonna invite you around for a drink of...
Whoa, whoa! Stop thinking about Mondstadt's wine and keep your head in the game! You can't be daydreaming about alcohol before a battle!
Huh? Well, all right, just trying to lift our spirits a little. You want to see some photos I took of me and the knights before the expedition, maybe?
अरे बस ये अपडेट खत्म. ट्विच पे
Can we please just focus on finding the wolf spirit fragment?
ट्विच पे कर रहा है स्ट्रीम, वहाँ ड्रॉप्स आते हैं ना? नहीं, अभी वापस स्ट्रीम नहीं कर रहा हूँ. करूँ ट्विच पे? मैंने वहाँ पे सेटअप नहीं किया इसलिए. मत कमीने. नहीं छोड़, मैंने अभी खत्म रिक्वेस्ट. अब पढ़ाई करने जा रहा.
Is this what we're looking for?
I once got Boreas to explain to me how he stores his soul inside objects. All I need to do is transfer it to my sword. Just like back at the camp, but this time, you'd best step back a bit.
Just... पुल कर रहे हैं माइटो इसको बाहर का. उसका गेम प्ले अच्छा लगा मेरे को, मतलब तो जैसे यूज करने में, लेकिन मेरे पास अपने पास कोई कैरेक्टर नहीं है तो हाँ.
So, you're saying you don't know how to love people, and you don't understand human love either.
Why do you laugh?
Sorry, I just think the fact you're ruminating on this is all the proof you need that you have love in your heart. I have a funny feeling that by the time this journey ends, you'll have found your own answer to the question of how to love.
No, you're wrong. There is no redemption at the end of this path. Even if I am stained black with blood, my conscience will remain as white as snow. If pledging allegiance to the Abyss is the only way to sever the injustice of fate, then I shall serve in its name.
Oh, sure enough, this place has been corrupted by Roland's will. Whew. I'm fine. I was prepared for this. It wasn't enough to pose a serious threat. We got here just in time. The fragment hasn't been fully corrupted yet. Assuming we can undo the damage, it should still be usable. Purifying the abyssal corruption would definitely be a safe approach. Could you try reversing the corruption? Not purifying it.
So, keep the Roland part intact as well as the wolf spirit?
Firstly, to test whether it's possible. And secondly, to view Roland's memories. As they say, know thyself, know thy enemy. Understanding our foe is our surest path to defeating. Let me think. How is it explained to me? Ah, yes. Focus on a single thought within the 1,000 winds. Capture that unique wisp before it blows away. Actually, neither do I.
Sounds like something a certain tone-deaf bard would come up with when he can't think of anything meaningful to say. Wait.
I thought it might mean something to you. Never mind. I'll explain it in more human terms. Traveler, when you were in Natland, you went fishing for ancient names, correct? If I'm not mistaken, the Night Kingdom was like a river flowing with concepts, and you were trying to capture the concept belonging to a particular ancient name. I'm thinking the same basic principles should apply here.
Okay, but back then, we had a bow and a net. This time...
This wolf spirit fragment is like a puddle compared to the Night Kingdom. No need for a boat. As for a net, this is what I've heard.
Thoughts and emotions are like interwoven threads. They can create a net, or they can create a rope. They can separate love from hatred, and they can bind objects and events together. Thought is the anchor for a being's existence, through which emotions are drawn forth.
Also, we barely know anything about Roland. How are we supposed to use thoughts to anchor him?
Well, maybe you could try this.
What is it? It looks old and tattered.
It's an unsent letter, written by the wolf pup Rostam, Knight of Boreas, from 500 years ago. It was meant for his disciple, the White Knight, Roland. After Rostam lost his life in the Abyssal Calamity, Roland left Mondstadt to wander to Vat. But trying to track Roland down was like chasing a shadow. He never did find him. And so this letter has been sitting at the Knights of Favonia's headquarters ever since.
Quite the antique, then. But...
Yeah.
Hey! What happened to Mr. Plans for every contingency? You're just making this up as you go along!
Now what can I say? Some people like to wait till they've got all their ducks in a row before taking the first step, but I prefer to dive on in and plan as I go. I've been doing it that way for the whole expedition. But anyway, don't they say that poetry and letters were humanity's earliest means of expressing their thoughts? Can't hurt to give it a try, surely. Whoa, it actually worked?
You really are making this up as you go along!
So the assimilation of souls really can be reversed, just like he said.
If what you say is true, the monsters I've slain, the justice I have sought to uphold, for mortals to escape this tragic fate, a great and ancient kingdom was wrongfully cursed, turning its inhabitants into monsters. The code of chivalry tolerates not such injustice. If Abyss be thy name, I pledge to you my loyalty.
And that is where the blood-stained knight's tale came to an end. With that, he bade his humanity
Farewell. I dare say you must find it quite ironic. Knights of Boreas.
That I... Dainsleif? No. Bore a striking resemblance, but that wasn't him. While we gazed into the past, he was gazing right back at us. Could it be? So that's what happened. After leaving Mondstadt and wandering the land, Roland ventured underground and saw a revelation from the Visionary. Once he had learned of Conria's fate, he saw the gods' judgment as the greatest injustice. So he surrendered himself to the Abyss, giving them his knowledge, his power, his everything. That's why the Abyss can replicate him.
Uh-oh. Does this mean we have to take on the Visionary this time?
I'm inclined to agree. If our enemy could see the future, both the Wild Hunt and Roland would be acting with far more lethal precision. But even without the Visionary's input, Roland still has an intel advantage we can't afford to underestimate. Every minion of the Wild Hunt serves as Roland's eyes and ears. We need to think one step ahead if we want to outmaneuver him. And on that note, I have a plan I want to discuss with you. Well, the fewer people who know, the less likely it is to get leaked. That about covers it. Sorry to ask, no plan is free of risks. At least this one actually gives us a shot at fully eliminating the danger posed by this ancient god. Surely that's gotta make the... If I fail, Anselm and Albedo can take the reins. Not to mention we still have Jean in Mondstadt.
Oh, there has to be another way! Like a backup plan?
If only there were. But I don't think our enemy will give us enough time to find one.
Hey! Are you guys done here yet?
Ah, Yehoda! Yes, we've successfully retrieved the Wolf Spirit fragment here. Any progress with Fragment 3?
Nope. Ugh, it's a total disaster. More Wild Hunt monsters than I've seen in my whole life. We need backup urgently. Come quick.
Come on, we're out of time. You'll just have to trust me on this one. What can I say? I'm not the Grand Master for nothing. I'm counting on you, Honorary Knight.
क्या नोट था मैंने एक्स दबा दिया हट रुक जा मेरे को स्क्रीन पीछे करके देखना पड़ेगा नेक्स्ट पार्ट बड़ा रहने वाला है सीधे से वही बोल रहा है increase the elemental damage bonus by 12%. यानी उनको दे सकते वाला अपन हाँ वो याला यूज कर रही है
Insulation chamber deployed. Preparing for Duska.
Absorption test.
Be silent. Observe. Do you fear the dark?
इससे अच्छा डबल ही मार लेना था मेरे को है कि नहीं क्या अंदर बाहर करना तो नहीं पड़ा था कम से कम
Cleanup becomes initiated. Ultimatum protocol.
Close your eyes. The long sleeve beckons.
बाकी वाले कितने हैं वेट 36 अब इसको टाइम है थिएटर 3 दिन में आएगा तो कुछ नहीं बचा है क्या आने को
Preparing for dust up.
Animal test 6308.
Observe. Close your eyes. To dust.
दो ये है वो है 0.3 Prada. 50% chance. जल्दी रेडी हो. Just deal 30% for HP. Max HP as high to damage. Final combo. Final normal attack. Okay. देखते हैं, अभी भी सोच रहा है उसको पुल करना चाहिए.
Add as
This land holds nothing but promise.
इतने पुल्स तो है एक 5 स्टार आ सकता है.
Accelerating.
चल मैं पूरा रेडी हुई ये क्वेस्ट स्टार्ट करने के लिए पूरा फिर से हो गया कैरेक्टर क्वेस्ट नहीं भाई चल रहा बड़ा क्वेस्ट
Fill me in. What's the situation?
अभी मेरे को एक मैसेज आया जस्ट थोड़ी देर पहले नहीं थोड़ी 5 मिनट हो गए क्वेस्ट बड़ा होने वाला है मतलब क्वेस्ट यहाँ से बड़ा है थोड़ा टाइम लेके करना ऐसा मतलब थोड़ा टाइम निकाल के जैसा नाटलान के टाइम पे आया था ना शायद तक एक बार आया मेरे को लगता है नोट आया था क्वेस्ट बहुत बड़ा रहेगा.
Good call. Locating the wolf spirit fragment is our key objective. I would have made the same decision.
Well, it seems the enemy figured as much too. Now, both search teams are in big trouble. Oh, I brought a map. This should make things clearer. Before we ran into trouble, this is the search area we decided on.
कितने देर से चल रहा है?
Two teams are holed up here
एक घंटा हो गया
and here.
नहीं एक घंटा नहीं 40 मिनट हुआ था
clear idea of the fragment's location by now.
But the Wild Hunt is stopping them from relaying messages back, right? Do we have any more troops available to provide backup?
We can't spare troops from any of the fronts right now. That just leaves us with,
The logistics company is standing by.
Hanefa!
Designated drop point reached. Initiating situation report. The logistics company was assisting Aino with the production of the strategic reserve. But after learning of the situation on the front line, they requested to be dispatched immediately. They are currently nearby awaiting orders.
Amazing. Just in the nick of time.
Hey, seeing as you can fly and all, shouldn't you be the one out here delivering messages?
I regret to say that without the workshop's catapult, and with my short-distance propulsion module on cooldown, I will only be able to return to the battlefield after another 5 minutes. Please, keep up the good work, YeahBoi. The logistics company has very limited provisions, only enough for a single battle. Which team should they support?
Both. Once one team has been rescued, the remaining forces will be free to support the other. We'll move out immediately. YeahBoi, keep up the good work with the comms.
Sure thing. Leave it to me.
commandable logistics. Want them to set ambush using terrain to strike enemy units that are straight from the group. कितने? हेलो हर्ष, क्या मतलब क्या कुछ बोलना चाहता है? न्यू एरिया नहीं आया, दर्शन भाई खेला नहीं नया।
Something's not right. The Wild Hunt's offensive doesn't seem to be getting any weaker as the battle goes on. Don't get dragged into the enemy's rhythm.
बाद में ही आऊँगा Genshin देखने
Scout
का।
out the area. Look for terrain we can use to our advantage.
Yes, sir. Reporting in, sir. We've identified viable sites for deploying
Good. Wait for my signal.